Is it just me? Or does it feel like every piece of content you see online these days is made by AI? All right. Welcome to episode 1 of Your Business Needs a Podcast. I'm your host, Jay Lee. I'm also the founder of Provision Podcasts. We help businesses like yours start their own show. And the whole point of this podcast is for me to try to convince you that your business needs a podcast too. So I guess we got sort of a meta thing going on here because this is, in fact, my business's podcast. And we're using this show to make connections with potential and existing customers. So why does your business need a podcast? Well, reason number 1 that we're going to talk about today is AI. I mean, let's face it, the AI revolution is here. And I know that in the business world, companies have been trying to sort of push this idea of AI for a while, machine learning. But if we're being honest, most of the products and services that supposedly were leveraging AI were honestly not that impressive. But ever since the launch of ChatGPT, the game has changed, and AI is for real now. And I think one of the most immediate impacts to our businesses, which you guys are probably already seeing, is how good it is at creating content. And so because of that, we're now in an environment where basically every single business and every single company can have a content marketing team. At this point, there's no reason why any business should not have blogs or posts or tweets or informational carousels or white papers or ebooks or any other kind of content. And so it kind of raises the question though, right? Because if every single business now, whether big or small, can have all of this content to share online, it sort of raises the question of what value that kind of content is going to continue to have. That it's not that hard to project that a business's individual voice is going to sort of get lost in the sea of marketing content that is going to be out there. And I think what we're going to find is that because there is such a flood of AI-generated content out there, what is going to become premium is authentic content that is clearly human. And so I think that's where podcasting is an incredible opportunity already, but even more so moving into the future, to let people see that you are more than just an AI marketing machine. And it'll be an opportunity for people to connect with you in a real and authentically human way. Perhaps at some point, AI will get good enough that it can even replace us on these podcasts. And, there's already deep fakes of videos and even impersonating people's voices. I've heard samples of AI phone agents. So it'll probably get there at some point, but I think people would agree an AI podcaster that can actually fool people into thinking that it's a real human is not that close, especially if you're doing like an interview format where you're interacting with another person. An AI is not going to be able to replicate that. And so I think businesses that are leveraging podcasts and establishing a real, genuine, heart-to-heart, human-to-human community with their existing customers and also potential customers and providing real value, right? We still need to provide value. It has to be more than just the voice. But providing real value, I think, in this increasingly synthetic context are going to stand out, and it's going to be a competitive advantage. And so I think it would be very wise for businesses to start making that investment and start building up that community through a podcast, because it does take time. But I think in a year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years from now, that investment of creating this kind of community through a podcast is going to be extremely valuable. All right, so that's it for episode number 1. Now, go start that podcast. Your Business Needs a Podcast is a Provision Podcast production. If you enjoyed this episode, give us a follow, leave us a review, or share this episode with a colleague. And reach out to us if you're ready to look into starting your own podcast. You can find all of our links in the episode description.